take a look up front, let's do a little review here and pick up where we left off from before break. Okay. So before break, you guys took a quiz on solving these systems of equations. And you solved them 3 different ways. The last quiz was really just elimination method, but we've done 3 ways total. So what we're going to do is just review solving a system of equations using all 3 methods using the same exact problem. So you will get the same exact answer, just 3 different ways. So this, if you might recall, if it's already solved for y or x, it makes it a little bit easier to do the substitution method when we have a y equals or an x equals. So this would be the best method for this particular problem because of that. So we have 4x plus 2 times y. Now, this y is the same as this y here, and this y is 4x minus 2. So we can actually just substitute 4x minus 2 in for y. Okay? And then it equals 8. And we have a single equation with only one variable. As long as we remember all the different rules here about distributive property, okay, and we take our time to show the work, and we should be okay. 4x plus 8x does make 12x. Let's bring down what we didn't use. And then always show the algebra, which is what you do to both sides. There we go. So this just means 12 times what equals 12. So we already know the answer is 1. 12 times 1 equals 12. Let's show the work anyway. We know x equals 1. And then substitute it back into either equation. It might be easier to substitute in the second one here. Y equals 4x minus 2. So since x equals 1, y equals 4 times 1 minus 2. So we got y is equal to 2, so our answer would be 1 for x, 2 for y, 1 comma 2. So hopefully that looks familiar. I haven't forgotten too much. Okay. And the significance of this on a graph is that if we graph the slopes and the y-intercepts of both, they would intersect right here at 1 comma 2. So the x-coordinate is at positive 1. The y-coordinate is at positive 2. Okay. So let's just verify this. We already know the answer for graphing. This is also going to be the answer for elimination. It's just knowing the different methods. So the first one here is not in slope-intercept form. It's not like the form of the second one. We can't just graph it right away. So we got to do a little bit of work. 4x plus 2y. A long time ago, we said we got to get y by itself by subtracting 4x, both sides. All right, that's 0. So we have 2 times y will equal negative 4x plus 8. And then since we want just y, not 2y, we can divide by 2 everywhere. So we actually want to graph is y equals -4 divided by 2, -2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And that's the same as -2 over 1. So you can start at +4, which is right here, and then go down to right 1, and really quick, we're at our solution at 1, 2. But continue it anyway, just to get that straight line. You can also reverse it and go up and left. Use a straight edge if you have one handy. Okay. Not too bad, right? Now the next one, well, this is already in the proper format. Y equals 4x. Didn't have to do any work. Just like the one above, though, we have to know that's 4 over 1 when you're graphing it. And then the answer is revealed pretty quickly. Start at -2. -2. And then you go up 4, right 1. And the first movement, up 4, right 1, puts us at our answer, 1, 2. So just continue that a few times, up 4, right 1. Then down 4, left 1. So that is the only point, 1, 2, that will be true for both. If you do a check and plug in 1, 2, you'll get the same number on both sides of our original equations. So 4 times 1 plus 2 times 2, that's 8. 8 equals 8. 2 equals 4 times 1, 4 minus 2, 2. So we get 2 equals 2 for our check here. And then we'll get 8 equals 8 when we do a check on this one. Just by substituting in the values, get the numbers on both sides. All right. Lastly, we have the substitution method. So this is already in the correct format, that top equation, because both x and y are on the left and we have a number on the right. However, this other, let's go back to black. This one is not in that format. So if we want to use this for substitution, notice how x and y are both on the left. Here, x is on the right. So we can just subtract that, move it over to the left. And now we do have x on the left. This is a positive y, so just plus y. And on the right is just the number. Since this cancels out, you're just left with -2. So now we have -4x plus y is -2. And the idea with this elimination method was that one of the variables will add up to 0. In this case, we have a positive 4x and -4x. Those add to 0, thus being eliminated. You're left with one equation. 2y plus 1y is 3y. One variable. 8 minus 2. And no surprise here. The y equals 2, just like we got here. Should get the same answer. It's the same exact question, so just answered a different way should have the same answer. And then much like the substitution method, take one of the equations and substitute y in for 2. So since I use the bottom equation here, I can do that again. So y equals 4x minus 2. Right? That's the second equation. You could have used the top one. And since y equals 2, we have 2 equals 4x minus 2. And just a quick solve. We have 4 equals 4 times what? So 4 times what equals 4? And x equals 1. So as promised, we get the same exact answer all 3 ways. So really, once you've done one method, you already know what you should be getting for the other methods, assuming the first way is done correctly. After that, it's just making sure you're being careful on your negatives and putting it in the right format at the top. So for elimination method, both x and y on the left, number on the right. For graphing, you have to have slope-intercept form, which means just y equals the slope and then the y-intercept. Okay. Now, each of these problems, as you can see, are pretty much the same as the first one. There's one in elimination format. There's one in the slope-intercept format. So it's pretty much the same for all these on the front and back. Okay. So let's just go through and do the setup for all 3 methods, and then let you guys work, get the rest of it done. If you feel like you can just do this right now, just go ahead and start working on it. Okay. So we have, again, same format. That y is the same as this y. (4x plus 3 times y, which is x minus 5, will equal 6. That's the setup for the first one, just to substitute directly. Setup for the second, for graphing anyway, let's solve this one for y. And you can always use your notes above to see how it's the same exact format. First thing I did was subtract 4x, and then divide by 2. So this time I'm going to subtract 4x, but I'm going to divide by 3. So the algebra is the same, the steps are the same, just the numbers are different. As long as you're showing it and writing it all out, you probably get this right. Divide by 3 this time. We have y equals negative 4/3 x plus 2. And of course we have this one, y equals x minus 5. Already in that format, you just had to remember that the slope here is 1 over 1 when you're graphing. And then lastly, we have the first equation already for elimination. But this one is not. Simple solve, move x and y to the left, gives us x plus y is negative 5, because the x is eliminated. go. However, checking the columns, nothing adds up to 0. Here we'll get 5x, here we'll get 4y. We need one of these columns to be 0. So either way, any column you can set up to equal 0. We'll need a -4 here to cancel out +4, or a -3 here to cancel out +3. So 2 correct ways of starting this. Multiply by -4 or -3. So let's just say -4 is our go-to. We'll end up with -4x, once we multiply those, -4y. Then don't forget the right-hand side, +20. And I'm just going to rewrite this equation below it so I can add them together. All right, there we go. Okay. Let's see here. If we solve this, we'll end up with, what is this, negative y equals 26? I don't know. Does that seem right? No. So where's the mistake? Where's the mistake? Because we know that this can't be the answer because this graph doesn't go up to 26, so something's wrong. So there's one little mistake in there somewhere. You might notice right here that this is a positive x, right? Positive x. So I really needed to subtract x on both sides. That gives me a actual negative x here, not positive x. So I really just need to multiply by +4, and that will take care of it. So I'll get +4y, and I'll still have -20, right? And then now when you do the solving, we get 7 times y equals -14, which makes more sense. Okay, so just illustrating the idea that once you get a number that doesn't make sense for the graph, don't erase everything and start all over. It's probably you did everything 99% correct, and you need to go back and find usually one little negative that's wrong. And once you fix that one little negative, it just trickles down, and you just make a little adjustments as you go back through it, and it works out just fine. Okay? Greater than, equal to, and so on. That's where we're heading tomorrow. All right. Let you guys go to work.